And Passion Stone requires dedication as well.
I know. I don't understand Passion Stone. I'm going to be honest. I try and play it and I just get confused. I played it for like 3 hours in a layover in an airport, and every time I thought I was starting to understand it, something would happen and I'd just be like, I don't know what happened, and then just get a bit sad. Anyway, we are in game. Would you like to introduce these two players, Roddy?
Always, always. Over here on the right top side of the map, we are looking at the Russian Protoss player who surprised us in game number 1 with his aggressive 2-base Blink Stalker build. It is DmC, representing Team Vega, as he is going up the Vega Squadron, I should say. It's kind of a cool logo with a shark, I like it. I think they're getting ready for Cloud Kingdom being reintroduced to the map.
The shark is going to resurface.
Yeah,
Flying shark for the win.
Over here on the left top side of the map, we see something already a little bit surprising. Like we said, he definitely gets tilted if he loses to silly Protoss builds. It is Acer's very own Nerchio,
who's opening with an extractor.
Yeah, it's and it's not just opening with an extractor. This is like 13 gas, 12 pool. This is as aggressive as it gets. If DmC goes Nexus on the low ground and he follows up with a gateway in his main, which it kind of looks like. I die to this kind of stuff, and I think it's very hard not to die. And I mean, you could say that maybe you could stabilize on one base after losing your Nexus and losing a few pros, but that is still dying to me, because in a certain point, even if Nerchio only is working on 14-15 drones, he will still be able to have enough money by producing non-stop links and throwing his hatchery on the low ground, that losing your Nexus and then being stuck on as a one-base Protoss is pretty much the same thing as dying. Let's say you're on life support.
Yep.
And they just don't want to turn it off yet until you tap out.
Well, out come the Lings. First scout coming down from DmC now. Sees the gas, sees the 3 little cocoons.
It is a good scout. This at least tells him, like, alright, this is what is happening. And now I very much wonder what is his response going to be. You know, trying to wall off at your ramp almost seems a little over ambitious. I don't think that you can get that done anymore. So the best thing you can do is just create a beautiful sim city around your mineral line and make it very hard for those Zerglings to swing in. Chrono boost out Zealots, get your Mothership Core out as soon as possible. But this is very difficult. This is a very, very tricky situation if you ask me. But I'm curious how he handles it.
In come the Lings, making steady progress. The Zealots being chrono boosted, although a slight little gap there, not enough minerals to actually finish that off. Natural base is just getting targeted down. Speed is still a fair way off, to be fair, 30 seconds. So this should give ample time to get out a good few Zealots. The Mothership Core may even be able to get out in time. That'd be a big win if that's possible for DmC. Yeah. Behind this, Nerchio.
Wow, okay. He's actually putting probes to the low ground. He's very keen on keeping this Nexus alive, which, you know, right now he's losing mining time, but that's okay, because he's up so many workers anyway that it's still relatively even. If you could trap those Zerglings, that would be awesome, but it's unlikely that's going to happen. It's just like that next big swell of links, which I'm definitely expecting Nerchio to make. Otherwise,
yep, there we go.
Yes. So, well, we'll see. Even a Photon Overcharge is often not enough to keep you alive. But if DmC holds this, I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed.
A lot of probes down on the low ground here. They're going to get slaughtered. Nice little wall off here from DmC. Should be able to buy himself time using these Zealots and Stalker, but it prevents mining from the natural base. The Mothership Core needs to just start working away at this. Nerchio droning now.
Yeah, well, so Nerchio is not going absolutely all out. It's 22 Zerglings. The Stalker follow-up is kind of interesting as well. I would have expected Zealot number 3, but he goes for a Stalker. Here come those Zerglings once more. Mothership Core has 82 energy right now. Nex is taking quite a bit of damage. This is where pretty much Nerchio is going to sacrifice a bunch of links, but he will get the Nexus. So that's something, but he did keep most of his probes alive, so okay, this is not really like being dead and being on life support. Like, it's still a little tricky as a Protoss to be in this position, and I don't really like it, but it could have been so much worse. He handled that pretty okay.
DmC got a rather big supply block at the moment, not actually reproducing anything, just the Nexus coming down as soon as possible. This means no unit production for a long period of time. He's still not starting a pylon. Not got enough minerals for it. This is massive now.
Yeah. Okay, he's going for an old school wall off. Alright. I guess that's kind of cute. Will allow units to stream up to the ramp. The wall off won't be at the ramp, but you still have SimCity working for you, so it will make it hard for Zerglings to just run by and go into the main base. Nerchio during all this is going up to 3 bases. He's already ahead 8 drones. So needless to say, this is a pretty okay position for Zerg to be in. especially right now because DmC was supply blocked for so long, like you mentioned, and Nerchio's just squeezing out 6-7 drones at a time. Often a follow-up of those players do is they just try to 5 or 6k their way to victory behind this. But if Nerchio gets enough roaches, he should be fine. Then again, I thought that game number 1 is 1. I was wrong, so.
As we got now, obviously the Rotron and Extract coming on down, so this isn't a massive commitment for Nerchio, but if we just look at his drone count now, it's starting to skyrocket. He's had good injects coming for quite a long time. Whereas DmC, he's really struggling. He's trying to get out more probes, but his probe count is exceptionally low at the moment. He's going to struggle to support any continued production. He's trying to go up into that robo as well, but just look at the army supply at the moment. It's incredibly low.
This is pretty much how the games play out for me. You know, if I was the Protoss in this position, it's just like, you hang in there, you try to do well. In the end, you either lose a bunch of probes or you lose your Nexus, and then you're like, well, this was a big investment for this Zerg, right? And then you look at the replay and you're like, 49 drones against 33 probes. Well, Roddy, it seems like an uphill battle if I've ever seen one, which is definitely the case here.
Nerchio is also grabbing down Burrow. This is a really nice addition. I'm really glad that we're seeing a lot more Burrow play come down in general in the meta at the moment. I think it can be so potent. DmC has got a nice wall off here though, which will buy him a bit of time.
And the reason why he's getting Burrow is exactly what I mentioned before. Often a response of Protoss players once you had an early game like this is, like I said, you re-establish your natural and then you just 5 or 6 gate your way to victory, or maybe 7 gate if you feel you have the money for it. But obviously 7 gate, you have no robotics facility, so Burrow is an excellent choice by Nerchio, makes a lot of sense. That is not what is happening, but that doesn't take away the fact that I still really like the decision of Nerchio to go for Burrow.
So a couple of Lings going to try and come on through, but with the sentries there, not going to be able to achieve much. The army of DmC also pulling back just to pick off those few remaining Lings. One Immortal is out, the second one being rapidly queued up behind this. I'm expecting to see a War Prism after the second Immortal as well, because there's no pylon out on the map. It's going to be difficult to establish one. But here's the good news for Nerchio. Hydra Den coming on down, and that will be out in plenty of time to deal with this push.
That is correct. Yeah, Hydralisks are great against sentries and immortals. I'm just kind of trying to find the bright side of life over here for DmC. I guess you can say lots of sentries, lots of force fields. Anything is possible. It's a beautiful game. But this is going to be very difficult for our Russian Protoss to make this one work. It will all come down to, you know, if Nerchio is making the same mistake as Bly made in game number 1 on Overgrowth, where he just made the engagement a little too quick and he tried to find, you know, an exposed Immortal that didn't really work out, then it can still backfire, but normally this is Nerchio's game.
So Nerchio did have control of the Watchtower there, so sees this coming across. He's also sending through an Overseer to get a good count on the gateway numbers. The first few Hydralisks in production now, but this is a nice defensive position for Nerchio. You've got the spine in the middle, already splitting up those roaches, ready for a good concave. It's going to be very challenging for DmC to move in.
Yep, as soon as there are 7-8 Hydralisks in the mix, they push out so much damage and makes it so difficult for these kind of pushes to work. DmC is just trying to find the right angle. He realizes that Creep is already pushed out quite a bit over there and he doesn't really want to waste the time. It's a very wide open area as well, so instead he's going to try to swing in from the right side, which is a better idea, I guess. Could land a couple of good force fields over here. That's exactly what he does. I like that move a lot. That's 4 or 5 roaches that he gets almost for free. Doesn't really lose a whole lot. Okay. I mean, Nerchio his Hydra count is going up rapidly though. We're already looking at 12 Hydralisks, 8 more on the way. With 20 Hydras, you should say Nerchio is fine, but a few more force fields like that, and then the sky is the limit.
Groove Sprines has just kicked in. Looks like unfortunately someone is getting a few lag issues. That's one of the admins. Hopefully that will get fixed up soon. We may have to remake this depending on the exact timing of this.
Why would you have to remake it, you mean?
Just if the players got any lag before they actually went into the fight. Which hopefully they haven't done.
It's a very unfortunate moment, that's for sure. Like, right when the force fields go down. It's 121 supply against 164. If it was all roaches, I would have definitely believed, but the Hydralisks, they should be able to push out so much damage, kill these zealots so rapidly. That, and in the end, right now, DmC is actually the one that's kind of in an awkward choke. So, I still believe in Nerchio. What about you?
Well, he's got Groove Sprines kicking in now, and he has got a huge number of Hydralisks out on the field as well, so should be quite good. There we go.
I love Nerchio. He's a good troll.
Okay, for the moment, DmC pulled back out. I'm glad you didn't take that fight. It was a good troll, though.
I thought that was really funny. Because that's exactly how I would be controlling my army. Alright, DmC is going to try this lock one more time. Good force fields again there, getting 4-5 roaches. Mothership 4 dies, only one time warp goes down. Few more force fields going down as well. Lots of F is indeed being pressed. If that warp prism dies, by the way, that would be catastrophic, and the warp prism will die. And I'm afraid that with that, this push is eventually going to die as well.
Yeah, those Hydralisks are dealing out so much damage. The force field starting to whittle down, the sentry count diminishing rapidly. And with this, Nerchio should be pretty much set to take this second game and level out the series. He's pulling over a couple of drones as well, just to bolster the front line, allowing these Hydras just to keep dishing out the damage. Reinforcing with more roaches as well, but there's nothing behind this. There's the GG, and Nerchio takes the second game to level it out, tied 1-1.